Hi everybody, it's Tiffany from Totally Tiffany, and I am your organization obsessed crafter, right? I truly believe that if your craft supplies are organized, you're gonna craft more often, you're gonna have more fun, you're gonna use more of your supplies. How many of us feel guilty that we've amassed all of these supplies that we're not really using, right? But if they're organized and accessible, you're gonna use them more, and you're gonna be more likely to invite your friends or family into your craft room, into your crafty craziness, to enjoy this amazing hobby with you. So today I'm talking about embossing folder organization. If you have embossing folders, are you using them? Where are they? How do you get to them? How do you make it easier to use them more often? Well, when we talk about things like embossing folders, any kind of tool really, my favorite thing to do is create a catalog of my supplies, and that makes it easy for me to see what I have and then gives me direction about where those supplies are stored. So I've brought my catalog with me today, and I'm going to open it up here, and you can see I have a variety of things in here. These are the instruction sheets for my We Are punch boards, right? I want to use those. I don't always have the instruction sheet with them, but I know I can get to my catalog and I can find those instruction sheets. I also have representations of stamps and dies and punches and any of the other things that I might be using when I'm crafting, and I can see everything just by flipping through and finding whatever category I'm working with. So this is arranged in the 4-section system. And if you're unfamiliar with the 4-section system, the way I recommend organizing, right here in the text below the class, you're gonna find a link to a downloadable PDF, and you can read up on that. But that's how this is arranged. Alphabets and number, themes and sentiments, the calendar year, they're all in here, all my tools and supplies. Talking about embossing folders, here are examples of my embossing folder. So when I want to use an embossing folder, I can come right to this section and I can see what I have. There's a lot of ways to create a catalog. When I first started creating catalogs for embossing folders, I was running each of my embossing folders through my machine. And you know how time consuming that is. Every different brand is different thickness. You need different shims, you need different plates, on and on and on, right? And I thought, how can I make this easier? And I came up with this idea. And if you're looking at this, well, the best thing about this idea was I got to go out and buy a brand new box of crayons, right? How fun is that? These are just rubbings of each of my embossing folders, and it's just a small section of each embossing folder. And I've got a negative and a positive, so I can see what both sides of the embossing folder are going to look like. So not only do I have all that information, and it's very visual, it was really fun to put this together as well. I've got examples of all my embossing folders, and you'll notice that each little square here has a number, and that number is going to drive me to wherever my embossing folders are stored. So let's take a look at a couple of different options for embossing folder storage, and I'll show you how they relate back to these numbers. There are a number of ways, a number of different products you can use to create your catalog and store your supplies, right? You can use Fab Files, which is what this is. This is our 4x6 Fab File, and it is loaded up with 4x6 embossing folders. And the little tab on the embossing folder coincides with the number on the catalog. So if I want to use this flower F18, I can go right to my box, pull out F18. One of the nice things about the little tabs is that they also work almost like a little handle, right? You can pull them up and down. One of the reasons I love the shut your flap tabs as labeling tabs is because they're made of plastic. You can do the same thing with regular paper sticky note, but you know paper, once it folds over, it's folded over, and you can't, it's not gonna pop back up, right? So because these are plastic, they don't get folded over. So they're great for labeling things like this, and they won't get beat up. And you can also see I have a little picture here. It's difficult when you're organizing embossing folders to know what they actually look like because they're all this plain white plastic. So I just cut the picture off the packaging, and then with just a piece of tape, I hinged it onto the embossing folder. Why did I do that? Because this is a cardboard, a thick paper board, right? When I first did this, I cut out the thick paper board, I ran it through my Xyron, and I glued it to the embossing folder. And then what happened? When I ran the embossing folder through the machine, where that square was a square instead of the picture from the embossing folder. So if you've got something thick like this that you're using, make sure you hinge it. I just use a piece of tape, and now when I feed it through my machine, I just flip the hinge back. But I can see I have a picture of what that embossing folder is going to look like, right? So the 4x6 Fab File is a great choice when you match it up with some sort of labeling tab. But depending on the size of embossing folders you have, there are a lot of different options that you can use the same way. This is a 5x7 Fab File. And one thing I should say about the Fab Files, when you get them, the Fab Files were designed to be used with for photos, which is why they're 4x6 and 5x7. And they come with these reusable file folders on the inside. You can use the file folders for photos. You can also use them for stamps or embossing folders. They've got a little label thing right here. So if you don't want to use the sticky tabs, you can definitely use the file folders as well. And those do come included with the 4x6 and 5x7 Fab File. So same thing, this is all Anna Griffin. It's all one collection, right? So I have it labeled Anna Griffin Christmas. And then if I go to my Anna Griffin tab here in my catalog, I'm also going to see those things, those Anna Griffin things right there in the Anna Griffin section of my catalog. So one of the beautiful things about cataloging is that things can go in multiple places. So I can have a designer section where I have all of the Anna Griffin things, and I can have those things in the Christmas section as well. So 4x6 or 5x7 Fab Files are going to work great for organizing your embossing folders if you want to put them on a shelf and have those boxes available to pull out. Another thing that you can use are our flip and storage pages, and these are the small flip and storage pages. They fit in the 3-inch flip and storage binder. And they have 4x6 pockets on the front, and they have 5x7 pockets on the back. And again, when I just put the little label in the corner there, and so I can see what each one of those things is in the flip and storage page. I use the large Shut Your Flap tab to label both the flip and storage page here, and also to create my divider or my tab labels in my catalog. So again, 4x6 and 5x7, and this will fit in that 3-inch flip and storage binder. If you're using a scrap rack or you're using our 12x12 craft binders, your big flip and storage page is perfect for embossing folders as well. 4x6 on the top, 5x7 on the bottom, even the ones that have the little add-on piece. And again, you can see, this one, I didn't have an example on the packaging. So I just did a rubbing again. F3, I can go right to my borders and background section here and find that F3 square, and then I know that's what that's going to look like right here, positive and negative on that, and I'm going to be able to go right to here and pull out that exact embossing folder that I want to work with. So the flip and storage pages are great in a binder or your scrap rack. The Fab Files are great if you're putting them away on a shelf. And then from our Desk-Made collection, the Die Stamp and Supply Organizer is a great way to organize embossing folders standing up on your desktop as well. And again, you can see that I've just put those little label tabs on there. Now I would categorize these the same way. I would label these with a number, and so that you can find them equally easily as I've done with these. Simple embossing folder organization is the same as we want to organize stamps and dies and punches. We want to create a catalog. We want to give everything a number or a location that we can tie it back to, so it's fast and easy to find exactly what you're looking for. So create your catalog and then label your storage tools with those same numbers, and you'll be able to find your embossing folders that fast. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message.